today with Denise Nichols. How are you doing, Denise?
Good, thank you. How are you?
I'm very good, and it's Friday, so I'm even better. Why don't we get started by talking a little bit about yourself and what you do?
Oh, yeah, so Denise Nichols. I am an occupational therapist, and I have been for about 19 years. And I own a outpatient rehab facility here in Rockford, Illinois called Motivate Therapy. And there's 4 of us therapists, and we specialize in something called pelvic floor therapy. And I've been, like I said, an occupational therapist for 19 years. I was really, my main specialty has been outpatient physical occupational therapy type of setting, working with children and then adults. And I really started kind of gravitating towards more of what people think, I guess, of as holistic, or I like to call it whole health or whole body care.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm a certified massage therapist, and then I became a certified yoga therapy instructor. And so I think that helped really shape me into a therapist that really is comfortable and likes working with the whole body. So I really got into postural alignment and body mechanics when I really got into the yoga thing. And you can't really deal with posture and body mechanics if you don't understand the pelvis. So getting into the pelvis is what helped me eventually go towards pelvic floor therapy. And pelvic floor therapy really, it really treats a gamut of things, but they're really true quality of life issues like urinary incontinence, fecal incontinence, pelvic pain, groin pain, rectal pain, penile pain, testicular pain, abdominal pain, pain during and post-pregnancy, things that truly affect your quality of life. And I think having gone more towards the holistic realm, that's really my passion is, I think, chronic pain and chronic issues that completely affect and alter a person's ability to thrive and be and do what they want to be and do.
All right. So what made you get started in this line of work?
Well, my mother is a special education teacher. So she really, when I was in high school, which, trying to figure out what you're going to do with the rest of your life at 18 is impossible. But she really kind of pushed the PTOT thing. So I'm really lucky that she did that. So that's kind of what helped me get into the therapy piece of things. And, it's always amazing to look back at the journey that has landed you where you are. I never would have thought that me choosing occupational therapy would land me to where I am today. But I think, occupational therapy over physical therapy because of you really have to look at the mental health aspects of things, not just the physical aspects of things. We're expected to do a mental health. So I guess I really understood and felt pulled to go towards that more integrative approach. Mm-hmm. And so every job that I've ever had has helped me find another piece of the aspect of the human journey that I love. So, I'm lucky that my mom kind of pushed me in that direction, and that's what I.
Yeah, I mean, it's just neat to kind of watch things fall into place too. I'm sure if you look back, you'll see like the steps that you've taken and how it's led you to where you're at. I mean, I don't think
and having my own therapy.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing. So I feel really blessed that it's led me that way and that I must have listened on the way.
Yeah. So have you always had your own practice or?
Oh, I've owned this practice for a year and a half. I managed the same type of practice for, I guess, about 4 or 5 years in Rockford. The majority of my career was commuting to DeKalb and worked for a clinic that was private owned, a holistic privately owned clinic in DeKalb. So I did that for 9 years commuting from Rockford. So, and it was an amazing clinic and there was nothing like it in Rockford, which is why I commuted. And then, 2 children later and lots of heavy winters commuting that way.
Sure.
I always said that if I had the chance to emulate that clinic, Rockford deserved to have something like it. So that's how I ultimately ended up. I started by managing the clinic and then found that I guess I had a penchant for it. So I was lucky enough to have a supportive husband that encouraged me to go ahead and to try it. So
Nice, nice. So we'll talk more into what led you to do that. But when you're doing what you do, like what gets you most excited?
oh, patient testimonials, really, I'm extremely blessed that I have a group of, there's 6 of us, women that work together. And then we have just an amazing group of patients, in a small clinic that is not, affiliated with a doctor or a hospital. By the time patients find us, they really have sought us out. So the people that we work with, so staff and patients alike, it's just so amazing. I just love watching people grow and change on their journeys. And it really is very much a struggle, especially when you're dealing with something that really is affecting your life. Most people, by the time they find us, they don't have much hope.
Right.
So go from, constant pain or not wanting to leave their house because they're scared they're going to leak or things like that. And then they come back and they give you a hug and they see that you changed their lives. I mean, there's just nothing like that feeling. So that is absolutely why I get up and go to work every day.
I mean, do you have any experience in particular that you remember that would kind of give people a feeling for what you do and, where the hope really lies?
There was this one woman who I think her testimony was on my website, actually. And unfortunately, a lot of the, pain, doctors don't really have good diagnostic testing to show pain. So you go and the average, they say, for pelvic pain is they will see 20 different doctor visits or 20 different physicians. So they get bounced all over the place, and very often they'll end up in Chicago or Mass, So this woman, that was her journey. So by the time she found me, it had been 2 years. She was in severe, constant, chronic abdominal and deep pelvic pain. You can't even explain what that pain is like.
Mm-hmm.
She had her daughter's wedding coming up, and that's all she could focus on, is that she had to be able to dance at her daughter's wedding. And she came knowing, and she was, a heavier woman. She was terrified and always hated PE class. And she didn't want to be out in the gym. And anyway, she got better pretty quickly and learned, in our gym, we're very, there's not a lot of people. It's very kind of private. And she ended up learning to enjoy movement and really, she ended up being able to dance at her daughter's wedding. She, was able to help decorate and everything, where standing and sitting and riding in a car and bumping in the car, those kinds of things would give her excruciating pain. So now she's living, and she came in, she gave me a hug, and she refers people, and she wrote a great testimonial. And basically she now can, her daughter has since given her grandchild. So her life has continued on.
Yeah. So give us an idea. Like what you got somebody that comes in there and they have this excruciating pain. Like what do you do to make that go away?
Well, I mean, I think, how I came up with the name of Motivate was I Googled words that mean hope. And that was the first word that came up, was motivate. So that is absolutely, and so, all this therapy is covered by insurance. So, the doctor will refer them. And then when they come in, you can just feel in the room the chip sitting on their shoulder. Like,
sure.
Everybody else has told me I'm crazy. And this just goes for leakage or constipation. A lot of people, they feel like there's just no hope. And they've never heard of pelvic floor therapy, therapy for my vagina, that's what I hear, like, what? And so when we break out the pelvis and we show them that it's a bowl, and basically what's stopping everything in the upper body falling out is this bowl, and there are muscles that literally sling from the front to the back. They're the muscles we're sitting on right now. And they're muscles just like anywhere else. Like when you go for your neck or your shoulder, it's, therapists are experts in muscles. And so then when we show them that the spinal nerves, they affect the floor, movement, we talk about posture, we talk about the nervous system, we talk about stress, sympathetic and parasympathetic nervous system. We're all kind of like fight or flight all day long.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
The muscles, the parasympathetic system is what it stops us from having a heart attack every time we're 5 minutes late to work, right? We're freaking out all day long. And if that parasympathetic system is out of balance, then that's what affects the muscles we don't want to think about: the heart, the bowel, and the bladder. So if we're up amped all the time and we don't find balance, like your wife was mentioning, and how do you find balance? And that's what happens is the nervous system gets thrown out of balance when we don't take the time to find balance. And that nervous system is a big piece. And so when the nervous system gets thrown off, we can have pain, we can have leakage, we can have a multitude of things, headaches, things that affect our ability to function. And so just talking about that and explaining that, it's really, my philosophy is you can't change anything you're not aware of, and education is the key to that, to creating that awareness and therefore creating change. And that is what we do. 45 minutes is the first time we meet them for that. It's just really educating. They get a folder with a bunch of things to go home and read. And usually that in of itself, you can just see the chip fall off, the light kind of glow, and we've had people just cry, that I'm so happy that we found somebody that understands everything you're saying is exactly what I feel and I go through. We treat men as well. And, we'll have men come in with these, they say that women, it takes them an average of 6 years to go and talk to their doctor about anything going on down there. And I bet you it's a lot higher for men.
I would say that's true.
A lot of men who sit, like engineers and things like that, and that pain of sitting. There's a nerve that comes out through there, and that can affect everything. So then you start to talk about their history, and they've had back fusions and hernias and all of that kind of stuff, abdominal surgeries. So it's really just talking about how scar tissue and how the fascia, the connective tissue, will really can affect the nerves, which then affect the organs, which then affect your life.
Right. Well, so, if somebody's watching this and they can hear you talking directly to them, like, this is me, like, what's the best way, like, what's the easiest way for them to reach out and ask for help?
Really, again, like I said, going to your doctor and saying, I've heard about this thing called pelvic floor therapy, I think I would benefit from it. That's really all that needs to happen. Talk to your doctor, have them write a script. And it's pretty easy, I think, to find anymore, with the website and online being a great resource. So just Googling pelvic floor therapy in your town, so pelvic floor therapy Rockford, we would pop up. Or pelvic floor therapy, whatever. There are quite a few great therapists in the Chicagoland area. And then you could then go specifically with, I want to go to this place, and then you could either have the doctor fax the script there. We offer a free 15-minute consultation, and I'm sure other therapists do as well, because people don't really understand. We have a flyer or a pamphlet that we give to the doctor, what to expect, and the doctor gives that to the patient. And then if when we get the script with the patient's phone number, we call them and set up an appointment. But a lot of them are very leery. I don't know what to expect. I don't know what's going to happen. So then we always say, just come in and you'll meet with the therapist for free for 15 minutes, and we just explain to you what we do, basically what I just said, and in relationship to whatever their issue is. And then no obligation, and then they can decide whether or not to do an evaluation. And if they do that before they get a script, we can certainly help facilitate that with whoever. So it can be anybody from a family doctor to an OB-GYN to a chiropractor. It can be pretty much anybody.
Excellent. What was your website again?
It's motivatetherapy.com.
Okay.
So Facebook as well. You can communicate through us that way. But yeah, you can contact us and ask any questions. We have a lot of blogs where I was trying to, again, educate through the website as well. So we're educating, talking about that as well.
Excellent. So check her out. It sounds like it could help in more ways than one. So let's shift gears a little bit. When you're running a business, it takes a lot. When you talk about balance, I think your balance is tested, tenfold. And you have to do things to keep yourself focused and keep yourself fresh and sharp. What are some of the things that you do to kind of stay on top of your game?
Well, reading and, I find LinkedIn, I like to join every single group I can find that has anything to do with health and education.
Mm-hmm.
Just the constant questions that people are putting out there then encourages me to then go look them up. And then also I'm a member of the Chicagoland Pelvic Floor Research Consortium. So they're a group in Chicago. There's like over a couple hundred people, including physicians, therapists. And so they're always putting information out there. I think just finding groups and through whatever medias you can. They're constantly putting information out there, which is making you think, and then gives you information as to what books to read or what to look up. I'm, trying to reading and educating myself is a really important piece. But also surrounding myself with like-minded people. I think that's huge. And it's not necessarily pelvic floor people, but people who understand the importance of finding balance, and that you can bounce ideas off of, especially when managing. I always find that building the business piece is one piece, and managing the people piece is a much more difficult thing. So I'm always looking for resources and people that I can talk about. What do you, when you're surrounded by negative people, and how do you then become more positive, and how to keep myself in check to look at the positive sides of things, and not, because it's really easy to get discouraged whenever you have all the bumps in the road that naturally come with life, especially with owning a business. So I try to see it as a challenge, to look at something in a new light. I'm really fortunate to have, parents that, my dad was an administrator, he was a college president, so he's always helping give me ideas, on the management side of things. So, and again, I think surrounding myself with like-minded people, and then they give me ideas as to what to look for, and continuing education. I'm like a lifelong student. I'm constantly taking continuing education classes too, and then we're sending my therapist, and then we in-service each other.
No, that's good. That's good. I mean, you got to do, when people are coming to you and they're asking, you're coaching them on balance and stuff like that, it's like shoemaker's son sometimes has no shoes, that sort of thing. I mean, I fall into the same boat several times. So
times where and so then again, my husband, my children, my staff, they'll always encourage me to find balance when I don't. But there's certainly times where I fall off the wagon.
Yeah. It's tough. I know. That's the key.
And I tell my patients that all the time, because they'll come in and they'll have their head hung low. I haven't done my exercises. And well, that's great, and acknowledge that, and acknowledge that life and stress is going to happen, but that you have the tools and that you utilize them at some point. So it's the wagon is there to fall off of, and you can't, because then that becomes an excuse to not go ever back to it. So it's it happens, and you have to just get back on, and then I'm going to fall back off again, and that's it's a joyous thing when you can look at it that way.
Right. Yep. So, I always like to ask this question too. So, if you've been running your own practice for about 1.5 years, you said, and you've been, administrating for, 4 or 5 years before that, if you had a chance to kind of bundle up all the learnings that you've had, over the last 1.5 years, 5 years or whatever, you were to say, hey, Denise, here you go. Take all this. Here's your golden ticket. This can make life so smooth for you, going forward. What would be the biggest thing that you would tell yourself so that you can kind of eliminate any pitfalls you might have experienced?
In regards to getting a successful business off the?
Yeah, just like starting off, getting off the ground, if you could do it over again.
Yeah.
And start, get yourself a running start. What would you tell yourself?
People around you. I really feel that it's surround yourself with really like-minded people that are not necessarily, that kind of fill in your cracks,
Yeah.
The people who, might be, if you're more assertive, that might be on the more, introspective side, or, find those people and look at the weaknesses in yourself and see if you can find, those strengths in other people and surround yourself with those people. That's what I really have found, the journey in the past 5 years. When you look at all the people that I've had to weed out, because, they were bringing things down or not allowing the good people or the people that were contributing positively to be cohesive. So yeah, it's never you. And I think that would be the first thing that I would tell myself is you can't do this alone. And because everybody starts, that's how they started. I'm going to do this.
Yeah.
Myself. And I'm going to climb it all by myself. And it's not the way. You have to surround yourself with people. I think that's the biggest thing that I would say is that's not it's the hardest task I think in the world to find those people. But I think if you put it out there in the universe, it eventually you find them, or they find you.
They just come into your life. It's just unbelievable when you're looking for it, you know. And I think that's great advice, you know, when you talk about being able to see your weaknesses is a strength, you know. And I think, you know, you meet people that think that that's, you know, I don't have any weaknesses. You know, you're missing the boat, you know. And I think, you know, life is a journey that's meant to be shared with people, you know. And so, yeah, that's great advice. So if anybody's watching,
the more I learn, the stupider I feel.
yeah, exactly. Amen. Yeah. I mean, take all the plaques, take all the degrees, certifications, and just throw it out the window, because in my book, I mean, I've got masters and stuff, and all I've learned is all the stuff that I don't know yet, right? I mean, you never stop.
So you find those people. Yeah.
Right. Exactly. Right. So excellent advice.
And that really gets into what you guys are doing. And that's exactly the point of at least that's what I see of the point of what you guys are doing. And that's is you're just bringing people, first and most importantly, supporting small business owners, because you understand the importance of like-minded people finding each other. So
yeah, I mean, it's so critical, and not only that, but having people with the right mindset, you know. I mean, I just believe that if you have people that are doing what they do for a reason, and they have a good attitude about it, and they're really excited about it, and you put them all together, something good will happen. It's like an experiment for me. And it is. It's like, think about the energy that could be there. And it's doing that. I mean, it's just bubbling. And that's what I want to put out there, because if they can see it happening here, imagine if, you know, they could do that in their own personal businesses. You know, we wouldn't be sitting here talking about a jobless, you know, society and financial issues here and there. We wouldn't be talking about that. You know, I truly believe that. So, you know, we're dealing with 99% of the workforce here in small business. So there's something we can do. But anyway, yeah, excellent advice. I think it's the best advice you can ever give anybody. So, so we're here, we're talking, we're part of the Co-Opvertising network. And if I gave you the platform, you know, and you had the opportunity to kind of reach out to everybody that's in the group, and you know, maybe they can help you with something or vice versa, what would you say?
What would I say, to have them help me find people?
Well, I mean, if you looked at, you know, ways that you need help right now, or maybe ways that you see yourself helping others, you know, here's your chance to kind of reach out.
Yeah, well, again, if you see opportunities of that you could help my patients or my business. So, you know, I know Lisa put out there at one point, so, you know, doulas, anybody that has anything to do with, you know, helping women heal and be healthy, so nutritionists, doulas, personal trainers, athletic trainers, anybody that has anything specific to help contribute to helping my patients continue to grow on their journey. Because obviously, you know, it tends to be a 6 to 8 week type of thing. Our whole plan is to try to improve their tissue health through the manual work. We do a lot of manual work to help improve their tissue health, and then teach them how to maintain on their own. So, you know, that includes, you know, that body healing, healthy stuff and I've seen that a lot of people are on that deal with nutrition. So anything that can help them continue on their journey, that this is when they're starting to look for it. This is when we're starting to introduce to them to the importance of finding the balance. It's not just about exercise. It's about, very often it's not at all about exercise until they can get their tissues on a healing level, cellular level. I guess anyone that has anything to do with people empowerment, I'm definitely looking for people like them to help me help my patients, and my employees and myself as well. So people, I guess, that I'm looking for to find and have professional relationships with.
Excellent.
Not to mention, anyone else that can help us get the word out there as well. So anyone that has connections or anyone that has, SEO type of website type of help as well.
Okay, good. Yeah, so if you find yourself fitting that mold, make sure you give Denise a call. What's the best way to get a hold of you if they
Email is the best. So that's D as in Denise Nichols, Nichols at motivatetherapy.com. That's really the way to get a hold of me. It's hard for me to return phone calls, so email.
Okay. Excellent. Well, okay. Yeah, so get a hold of Denise, and hopefully you guys can find ways to work together. And that's all the time we have for today. Denise, I really appreciate you taking the time to share your story. It's been excellent.
Very much for taking the time to talk to me.
Yeah, it's been great. So look for Denise's story online, and hopefully we'll see everybody else there too. Thanks a lot.
Great weekend.
Thanks.